we are again. Hello there, fellow viewer, my name is Gabriel, and today I'm bringing you the District's book tag. This was originally created by my friend Lisa over at City of YA Books. She also tagged me to do this. Thank you so much, Lisa. This is actually a very clever idea, so let's get into it, shall we? District 1, which we all know is luxury items, jewelry, etc. Choose a book with a lot of opulence. Now, after, I actually had to go and look up what opulence meant. Opulence, with great richness or luxuriousness. That said, I'm going to go with Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This might actually surprise you. I'm not sure what happens in the third book in the trilogy, but I know that in the first one, things aren't very uneasy, things aren't very queasy. We still have a very concrete society where each person has their place. If you watched my 9 Random Things About Me video, you would know that I am a sucker for good costumes. And in my head, the garments that the Grisha wear, the keftas I believe they're called, are absolutely stupendous, richly decorated with the most expensive type of fabric. And not only this, you can kind of notice their opulence by the attitude of the royalty. The king and queen are just so indifferent towards everything. The little palace, the grand palace, just everything is just so rich and luxurious. So, Shadow and Bone. District 2, pick a book with a great war or conflict. Now, I hate to be repetitive here, but if you've read Siege and Storm, you know that at the end there is a very violent and ferocious battle between, I'm not allowed to say who, but I can honestly say that in fact this is a big and I feel decisive conflict in the trilogy. I think it was great reading material, really hooked me, and I was just on the edge of my seat to know what happened next, to know who won, the decisions our characters faced. It was good, and I really liked reading through it. So yeah, Siege and Storm. District 3, pick a book with a big technological twist. Now, I'm not too keen on what exactly this means, but I'm going to go with the Ico event thing that happened in Crest. If you're not familiar with them, in the Lunar Chronicles we have this little android called Ico, and androids have the personality chip that you can basically put on multiple android bodies, and in this one Ico gets a humanoid-like body, and at first I was really unhappy with this, but then I got used to it. I now honestly see Ico as the perfect humanoid android thing. Yeah, I thought this was a great twist because we're used to Ico as, Wall-E like android, and now she actually has a human body, so I'm happy with it. District 4, fishing, aka my district. Pick a water-based book. I am just super ashamed that I do not really have a book that fit into this category. This is always my favorite category, the water thing. Sadly, I cannot answer this question. I would probably go with a mermaid book if I had one. So, yeah. District 5, electricity. Pick a powerful book. To me, this is kind of a no-brainer. Actually, I'm going to go with The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. This book is powerful in just so many ways. It gives us insight on what the war was like. It gives us insight on how much the families actually suffered with this conflict. It really gives us that happy feeling that these two kids are trying everything in their power to make their journey through the Second World War as joyful as they can, and I think that's just so great. One of the many things that is powerful in this book are the characters, so I'm really glad to pick this book because it just shows us so many things. Yeah. And that ending just, if nothing else is powerful to you, that ending is. District 6, transportation. Pick a book that takes place in various locations. I'm going to go with 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. If you don't know, this book is set in different dimensions because these characters have come up with a way to travel between them. I thought, although very confusing, this idea was just absolutely great, and we do travel between 3 or 4 different dimensions. It was great. I loved how well described each dimension was. My favorite one was obviously the Russian dimension, because wow, I really liked reading about that one. The book just really makes you travel between different locations, and it's a lot of fun to read about. And even though they are actual places, they're not, in this time necessarily. We do get a little bit of historical, a little bit of futuristic, and I really did like reading through them. District 7 Lumber. Pick a book with manual labor. So for this question, I'm going to answer with The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I'm pretty sure you've heard about how this book goes. You have a really disprivileged class, the red-blooded people. They are basically the slaves to the silver-blooded. You really get this feeling of oppression. They're just so pushed down by their masters, their bosses, by the silvers, and you just know that this is wrong. And they do in fact do a lot of manual labor for the silvers, and I think it's just so unfair. It's that typical situation in which we have a slave class. Really hard to read about, but I just thought it really added to the story, although obviously you know it's not the most sympathetic situation. District 8 Textile. Pick a book with great clothes. Now, if I had taken a look at the questions before actually doing the tag, I would have definitely gone the Grisha trilogy again, but you know, I don't want to repeat myself for the third time, so I think an obvious pick for this one is The Selection by Kira Cass. Again, if I could switch with the luxurious question, I would definitely do that. In this book, we also have some pretty great clothes, specifically dresses. You know, the author gives you the style and the format, the color, but it's up to your imagination to figure out the dress in detail. In my head, the dresses were quite nice, so I'm going to answer with The Selection because, you know, obvious reasons. District 9 Grain. Pick a book where food is hard to come by. I'm going to go with one of my favorites, These Broken Stars, which, by the way, I have not mentioned in a very long time, so yay me. This book is about two people who get stranded on a unknown planet, and even though they have these special ration bars, you know, the things that soldiers eat, they are honestly just always fantasizing about a great meal, you know, a great place to sleep. Food is in fact hard to come by. Only later they do start to set up traps to eat actual animals. They do sometimes soup, but you know, you understand that they don't want just what they're eating. So These Broken Stars. District 10 Livestock. Pick a book with an animal in it. I'm going to go with the 39 Clue series. You know, they're all right here. I'm not going to take all of them out, obviously. These books follow two young kids who go around the world on a search for the 39 clues. They have with them their Egyptian mouse, Aladdin. The Egyptian mouse is a special breed of cat. I really like this cat aspect that the authors decided to add in here. The cat is actually very picky, so he only eats a certain type of fish. It was very fun to read these two's journey, but the cat just added so much more humor, and I really liked it. District 11 Agriculture. Pick a book where a character comes to a harsh, gritty reality. I'm going to go with The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. In this book, we have a princess who runs away, but by the end regrets that decision so much. It's honestly very good character development. By the end, she realizes she was basically a stuck-up brat that didn't want to face up to her responsibilities, so she decided to run. I don't think she can regret it any more than she actually does. It actually caused her kingdom a lot of trouble, and she's now being followed by who knows who, so this one, a very gritty reality. And finally, District 12 Mining. Pick a dark and sinister book. Well, how could I not go with Fairest? Fairest is the prequel to the Lunar Chronicles and focuses around the series villain, and I just loved Fairest so much. I was highly anticipating it, and it did not let me down. I absolutely loved Levana's story, and I think it's a fantastic book. It's dark and it's sinister because, again, it's the backstory of our villain. It was indeed very good, and I really liked it. Although the dark and sinister thing kind of comes up towards the end. Beginning is her kind of childhood, so Fairest by Marissa Meyer. And that is it for the District book tag. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, Lisa, for tagging me. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, it would mean a lot if you subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for my next videos, and remember to keep your day a bookish one. Goodbye!